Two Formula One giants with great history unveiled their cars this week. The cars both built to the new specifications for 2022, but both drastically different in design and appearance. Fans and neutrals alike will be eager to see which one has got the new regulations right. Both teams will be certain they have nailed the new design, but only one team could be right. Ferrari are the seventh team to reveal their 2022 challenger, the F1-75. Sporting a new red and black livery, this change in color comes following the exit of long-serving major sponsor Philip Morris and its Mission Winnow branding that featured on the car last year. Black front and rear wings, as well as a black halo and black numbers on the nose and engine cover, are all part of the new livery. The livery also has a logo commemorating the 75th anniversary of the very first Ferrari production car. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc were on hand for the introduction event, which will see both drivers aim to build on a strong year for Ferrari in 2021. The pair drove the F1-75 for the first time at their Fiorano test circuit, but were limited to just 15 kilometers as it is a demonstration run. They'll run it again on February 22nd in Barcelona, this time covering 100 kilometers on demonstration tires as part of a filming day. Leclerc added that his expectations for the new car are high, saying, "Well, of course expectations are high, because we're Ferrari. We're a team that is expected to win all the time, and that's what I was meaning by saying this," said Leclerc. "What makes me confident about this year's car, I think, is the work that I've seen in the past few months. The Ferrari designers chose a sidepod configuration that has a gentle downward inclination in the lower areas, but an upward ramp where the side pods merge into the engine cover and a scalloped out part in that transition. It has cooling slats on the side pod top surface, just like the Aston Martin. The upward contour of the upper bodywork above the side pod clearly suggests that the radiators are practically horizontally laid out, with cooling tunnels flowing upwards over the engine cam covers, similar to last year's Williams. This has resulted in a side pod shape that is highly undercut in the front beneath the little slat-like radiator inlet, but soon merges with a flat slab side before heavily undercutting again when it merges into the Coke bottle part at the back. Because the new regulations have taken a lot of forward side pod area up with the floor venturi tunnels, and the wheelbases have been shortened to a maximum of 3,600 millimeters, shorter than last year's shortest car, the cooling architecture and thus the side pod and engine cover shapes have been re-evaluated. As a result, there is a lot of diversity amongst every team in the 2022 grid. The primary aerodynamic difficulty in this section of the car is still figuring out how to maximize the speed of airflow into the floor, now via the tunnel inlets and down the sides, and what the best trade-off is between these two flows. The strength with which the airflow is drawn into the venturi inlets is determined by the effectiveness of the venturi tunnel shape in lowering the underneath air pressure and so raising the downforce. As a result, the size and shape of those inlets are critical. The cooling system must be designed to meet that aerodynamic criterion. When viewed from the front, Mercedes has chosen a fairly bluff sidepod design, generating a high-pressure area that will produce a more powerful outwash away from the floor. Ferrari has employed only the top leading edge to do so, instead hollowing out a large undercut area beneath. These are simply alternative approaches to making that trade-off. Mercedes unveiled their new car with revamped livery switching back to silver, which is embedded deep in their history. There was also a tribute to the black livery from last year appearing on the bottom half of the car. Toto Wolff explained that Mercedes' goal again this year is to win the championship, but with all the new unknowns, nothing is given, he said. "The hopes are we have a competitive car. It's not a given with the new regulations. We say we want to win another title, but we don't know even if we're going to be in the hunt for a new title. What I know with this team is that we've always been able, even when circumstances are difficult like the beginning of last season, to dig ourselves out of disadvantageous situations." On Friday, Mercedes became the 8th team to showcase their car for F1's all-new era, just one day after the FIA said Massey will be replaced as race director as part of broad structural reforms. While Wolff commended the right steps and stated it's really positive to see that action has been made, he stresses Massey's dismissal was not the reason for Hamilton's return in 2022, and that he was never worried his star driver would depart. I believe adversity has always strengthened him, made him more resilient and driven, Wolff added. This is the attitude I sense in him right now, as well as the team's philosophy. Last year was only the second time since 2014 that Hamilton had failed to win a Drivers' Championship, and both times in dramatic and contentious circumstances. Russell has replaced Valtteri Bottas after 6 seasons, and he enters the season with renewed vigor. Russell, a Mercedes junior driver, has spent his first 3 seasons in the sport with Williams, where he was excited to say the least. When asked about his new teammate, Hamilton said, "It doesn't change me. I think it's always a positive when you have new blood and new energy." George has had an amazing career so far in getting to Formula One and what he's done within Formula One. It's going to be exciting to see him grow and work with him. Russell, who 13 years younger than Hamilton, said becoming Hamilton's teammate was surreal. "Lewis was a superhero to me. You see these incredible people and you don't think they're human. Now, growing up and having the opportunity to race alongside Lewis is a real privilege for me because I've got such a great opportunity to learn and see how the best do it." The massive rule change has the potential to reset the field, and while Mercedes enters the season as favorites based on their recent success, they have no idea where their behind-the-scenes work will put them. Ferrari, on the other hand, have the extra time to design and perfect their design, as they explained last year that they had stopped developing their 2021 car early in order to concentrate entirely on the 2022 regulation change and work extensively on the new car. The enjoyable part is no one will truly know which team has the upper hand until testing begins in Barcelona, or realistically not until the first race in Bahrain. This is truly going to be a contrasting and exciting year, where who will be the front-running teams is unknown to all. If you are enjoying the content, please leave a like and maybe even consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.